I'm just here for
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Unprepared pod.
The three people are going to watch this.
All three of you are really going to enjoy this. And since you probably know me and you know him, you're really going to enjoy it. We have been talking for a long time about doing something because we talk about sports all the day long. We argue about sports all day long. Well, I have a life. It's really him. I just acquiesce when he comes up with his ridiculous statements. So we think it's funny. We think you all think it's funny. So here we are. We got a rundown, apparently.
Well, we don't have a rundown.
Seems like you got a rundown.
I just took some notes of some things that I saw that I thought were ridiculous and wanted to talk about.
Right. And I'm here just to talk about it.
The first thing is the Patriots decided that Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starting quarterback over Drake May. Because Jacoby Brissett has been terrible everywhere he's played.
Everywhere.
So that's the first big move that Gerard Mayo is going to make, is to play Jacoby Brissett as a starting quarterback for the Patriots.
So I got some thoughts. So Gerard Mayo was anointed the heir apparent. I don't know why, because he was a linebacker for them for years. Played his whole career there. That makes him the heir apparent.
No, it's because Belichick wants to make sure that whoever takes over is not going to win, so that he still looks like the greatest.
I think he did a good job with that pick. But are you trying to not win?
By what? Playing Drake May?
No, by starting Jacoby Brissett. You're not going to win with him.
Jacoby Brissett's been on that team 3 times. He's never won a game, I don't think, starting.
So what's the point of drafting Drake May, brother of UNC star Luke May? What's the point of drafting if you're not going to play him?
That really is, brother.
Yeah.
It's a stupid fact.
I mean, if I can't throw out stupid facts, what's the point?
I don't know. I just don't get it. You're not trying to win. It's good for Jets. I mean, as an Aaron Rodgers fan, that's just 2 more games that we're going to win. So we're going to get to 13, 14 wins. 14-3, 13-4.
And this is why we have to do this, because this is just the natural segue into other things that are more important than who's starting for the New England Patriots. When we talk about the JETS,
we go to
no. We don't do any of that yet.
We're going. We got
the people, the 3 people that, if there are 3 people that maybe aren't our friends that actually watch this, they need to know what kind of person you are. They need to know.
She's a ticket holder for New York Jets, as were you.
I was, but they need to know that you're a flip-flopping floozy.
Can we go? Let's just go.
They need to know.
What other team have I ever rooted for in the National Football League?
Tampa Bay.
Well, it's Tom Brady. Anywhere he goes, I'm going to root for him. I have a second home in St. Petersburg in Tampa.
Jet fan.
That's my team.
Jet fan, waxing poetic about Tom Brady. That would be me talking highly about one C.J. Stroud. It's never going to happen. Because when you bleed blue.
So do you want to go down the Connor Stallion and the cheating at Michigan, that you won a national championship that you didn't really win?
I think
that Dave Portnoy is now getting some heat for calling him out.
He's not a rat.
Did you watch the Netflix
Dave,
special?
Michigan man. I didn't watch I did not watch it.
Of course you did.
I do. I will watch it,
right. And
maybe we can talk about it one of these days. Right? You did nothing that everyone else isn't doing.
I thought that Trevor Etienne was just dressed up as a woman for a second.
Randall Cobb?
Yeah.
So I think that it's just important for our viewing audience and our fledgling podcast.
You keep talking to this, but there's nobody watching us. You're taping this right now.
I'm going to tape it, and I'm going to edit it. I'm going to cut it.
What are you editing?
I'm going to cut it, because if I get up, I scratch my ass, the phone rings, I got to edit it. I cut it. Maybe I'll put some effects. Maybe I'll throw up some stats. This is official stuff.
The sad thing is that you needed my crippled ass to get here. It's the only way you could even do this.
Didn't need you. But we got Randall Cobb and this young lady over here with a freaking witch face. I don't know who the fuck she is. Brutal. There's 2 of them. There's got to be 2.
All right, so the Jets.
Okay, so let's talk about the Jets.
We play the Niners, right?
Lost.
Perfect time to play the Niners.
Yeah, because no one's going to play.
Because no one's going to play.
Right.
You go out there Monday night, Rodgers, he'll play more than 4 snaps.
So at the time of filming...
You go 1-0.
At the time of filming, there's still no deal for Brandon Ayuk. And there's also was he the right tackle, left tackle?
There's a lot of things going on.
There's a lot of things going on. But I guess if you have Hassan Reddick come... Oh, wait. You don't have him either. All right, well, anyway. So you think that's a win?
That's a win. Only 3.5-point favorites at home, which means that
it's an absurd line.
The game's picked up.
It's an absurd line. You're right.
So that being said, the Jets win that game. Then they go to Tennessee. They're favorites in Tennessee. Tennessee is terrible. Do they even have a quarterback?
Will Levis. He's doing Mayo commercials.
Besides
Will
his
Levis
hot- besides his hot
does have a hot
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
That's it.
And he's got a Mayo
All right,
cologne.
so they're 2-0. Then a Thursday night game on Prime Video. The Patriots with Jacoby Brissett come into the Swamp. So that's 3-0.
Although you want to go with the underdog on Thursday night prime time to stay with the rules, but yeah, I think they win that game.
All right. Then you have
3-0, 2-1.
Who's the Broncos quarterback?
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is
Dual
coming.
threat.
Bo Nix is coming across the country to play at 1 p.m.
Oregon's finest.
to play at
Auburn's
1
finest.
To play a 1 p.m. game.
Yeah, I mean, all right, 3-1, 4-0.
All right, now we fly to London and
Anything
play
can happen.
a Sunday game against the Vikings.
Anything can happen.
Against who's the quarterback for the
That
Vikings?
I can. It's probably Sam the Man.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Donald. That's another great Jet pick.
Okay, so where are we now?
I guess 4-1, 5-0.
Okay, home against the Bills, who have no wide receivers.
Yeah, but by then, agreed. But by then, Josh figures it out.
Monday
They're
night
not gonna
game in the Meadowlands.
They're at home.
5-1.
5-1.
The next Sunday night they go to Pittsburgh, who. Let's talk
Just
about
Justin Fields will be the quarterback.
Let's talk
by
about
then.
teams trying to lose.
Yeah, no, they're trying
We're
to
starting
lose.
Russell Wilson.
They're not trying to win.
You figure he plays the first 3 or 4 weeks, they stink.
They bring in Justin Fields, and then they realize he also stinks.
So what happens there?
They probably win that game. But they lose in Pittsburgh, though. Don't they lose in Pittsburgh?
All right, so we're 6-2.
6-2. 6-2.
I think it's 5-2. Your math sucks.
Whatever. 5-2.
Then we go to New England.
5.5 and 2.
We go to New England.
Go to New England, but they shouldn't lose that game.
I mean,
When was the last time they won? When was the last time they won in New
I
England?
mean, they probably last year because they've been terrible the last couple of years since Tom.
True.
Terrific Tom.
Terrific
Beautiful
Tom. Yeah, beautiful Tom. Broke
Like
your heart.
that's my only problem with this because I got Tom on here. I have ADHD. Do we start talking about Tom? What's going on with that?
We could segue into that, but
right,
I mean, let's
keep
finish.
going.
Let's
Okay.
finish one thing at a time.
Thursday night game at home against the Texans.
I think the Texans could potentially be a juggernaut.
Or they could be terrible.
Why would they be terrible?
They're gonna go and beat Aaron Rodgers on the road on Thursday night.
Okay, so then let's pause the program.
All right, fine.
Let's pause the
let's keep
program.
going.
No, let's pause the
All
program.
right, you give them another loss.
What is?
What are
we are
7-3?
no. We're going
We're
to
7-3 now.
All right, 7-3.
All right, hold on.
Wait,
now we go to Arizona.
He doesn't want to answer the question. What is Aaron Rodgers this year?
MVP candidate.
Or 3 snaps?
No, he just took peyotes and everything else going on. He'll be fine.
Okay.
They go to Arizona.
It's a win.
Home for the Colts with terrible Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, terrible Anthony Richardson. 2 drafts, 2 Anthony Richardson picks by me. If he plays, he's amazing.
They said he can't throw. He doesn't know how to throw. It's having a rookie season all over again.
Figure it out.
On a Sunday night.
Cannon
in
and
the
legs.
Meadowlands.
Cannon and legs.
In the Meadowlands.
I can't really put up a good fight.
8-3.
All right, 8-3.
Oh, Geno Smith comes home cross country.
Gino Rama.
Cross country
1 o'clock.
for a 1 p.m. game.
It's a win. 9-3.
9-3. Oh, they go down to Tuaville.
9-4. 9-4.
They go play Jacksonville.
Duval.
10-4.
10-4.
Home against the Rams. So I say they go so the next 3 games are home against the Rams, at Buffalo, home against the Dolphins.
So you want to give them a 1-3. You want to give them
Possibly
1-2.
1-2.
1-2, and it goes however it goes. I think that's fair.
So
They're gonna win one of those games. They're not winning them all.
all right, so they're 11-6.
11-6 because we gave them 2 losses there. 11-6. It's good. It's a good record.
That wins the division.
Does 11-6 win the division?
Pretty close.
You're splitting the Dolphins.
Splitting the Bills. No, we're losing both to the Bills.
Losing both to the Bills? Well, yeah.
Well, that's what you're saying.
One or the other. You're either losing both to the Bills or the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins could take a step back this year. I think the Dolphins could take a step back this year.
So you basically just went through with me to tell me the Jets are going to be good. So you leave me alone about the Jets.
I've
they're gonna be good.
never said that the Jets aren't going to be good. I have said that you were a Jets fan, then you were a Patriot. Well, you kind of were a little bit too. A Bucks fan.
We've only been Patriot fans. Both of us. Have been
Yeah, well,
because we bet them every week. Our whole
the
life,
green.
As did my father.
That's the gangrene. That being said, That being said,
we're gonna move into the next topic.
okay, so we're not going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. What's next?
Well, what do you want to talk about? Aaron
There's
Rodgers?
another week.
We're gonna talk about
Next
the
week.
two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Next week.
So, could somebody explain to me how Tom Brady becoming a partial owner of the Raiders has anything to do with the fact that he's a broadcaster for Fox?
Has anything to do?
They're saying he can't sit
Broadcast
down.
restrictions.
Well, this is what I'm talking
There you
about.
go.
Like,
Instant offense.
he can't go in team facilities. He can't be at practices.
No production meetings.
Like, I mean, is this because of Connor Stalions?
I don't
And
know.
Michigan's asterisk?
I don't know.
Tom Brady was a Michigan guy.
And
Michigan
they just still
cheated last year.
I don't know that that's the case.
It's all comes full circle.
I do believe
That's a good game.
If
So
we want
I
to,
can't believe they made that a noon game.
what, Pine Bluff?
Georgia Clemson.
Oh, I'm looking at Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. That should not. I guess they're looking for the first noon good spot. ACC is just terrible. Clemson's not good. They haven't been good since.
All right, let's go back to the Tom Brady thing. So, who cares? Like, so it's
Nobody
probably
cares.
better off for him.
Nobody cares.
All he'll do is sit there and announce games and be better than Tony Romo.
Who's he with?
Nobody likes Tony Romo.
Who's he gonna be with?
Fox.
No, I know what Fox, but who's he gonna be with? Is he gonna be with like Kevin Burkhardt?
I have no idea. Maybe he'll be with Gus Johnson.
This is how the
That would be-
unprepared. That would be great.
phenomenal.
That would be great. Let's talk about the yin and the yang.
All right, so we don't have any answer to that. So
No,
let's
there's
jump
no
in-
answer. It
let's
doesn't
jump
make
into
sense.
The next one. So apparently, if you want to watch every football game for the whole season, it's going to cost you $1,400.
It's absurd.
I mean, I pay $2,000 for cable for the year, and I'm not going to be able to watch every game. Whatever.
So that's what it costs.
Yeah. So, but listen to this one. So, because everyone loves Scott Hansen
Loves
in Red
him.
Zone, they're making 3 late games every weekend to appease Scott Hansen in the Red Zone
Starting when?
this season,
The whole season.
the whole season. So you're gonna have Thursday night games, you're gonna have London games, you're gonna have Sunday night football, Monday night football. So you're gonna have like 4 early games, and because they have to guarantee 3 late games every week, because I guess there was multiple times last year when there was only 2 late games. Scott Hansen was taking a nap.
So
Had
they're
nothing to
adding.
talk about. Both games were in commercial.
All right. So I do. I am in the. I do love Scott Hansen. I think he's great. I think that Red Zone.
This dog smells.
She doesn't smell.
What's she chewing?
She's chewing on a bull dick.
What? A what?
That's a bull penis. It's a bully stick. That's a penis.
There's so many things going on right
Yeah.
now. All right, go back to whatever.
Anyway.
This is. We should just name this the ADHD.
Yeah. So let's talk about ADHD for a second there. Everybody apparently has it. I don't have it. My wife is self-diagnosed. She's trying to diagnose me. He has it. He probably does really have. I don't have it. And that's okay. It's okay. But
You're being like, this is supposed to be natural. You're making it feel unnatural.
no,
You're
it
talking
is.
to the camera. I'm sitting.
I'm
right
talking
here.
to the camera.
You should be talking to your partner.
I am talking to you.
I got a dog eating something on my lap.
bull
that
penis.
Smells terrible.
It's a bull penis.
All right,
What would you
let's
expect
move on
bull
to the
penis
next
to
thing.
smell like?
I think the Red Zone.
Fun Friday night.
Who owns the Red Zone? NFL or Verizon?
I think NFL. No, NFL Network.
Well,
so
I mean,
NFL.
that's the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I hate the NFL. All right. So yeah, let's go into this one. So I'm in a guillotine league. Is that how you say that word?
Yeah, I think it's close enough.
All right. So 17 teams.
Absurd.
Way too many teams. In it.
Absurd.
There are so many bad NFL players that like I had to take Daniel Jones as a second quarterback really late.
Wait, hold on.
The
a
only
second.
quarterbacks left.
17 teams.
Yeah.
And you're starting 2 quarterbacks.
No, you
Or
start
just for a
one,
backup?
but I need one because my starter is Mahomes, but he has a bye in week 6.
So will the NFL take Mahomes out because his terrible train wreck of a wife supported President Trump?
I have no idea. I'm not going into politics.
Not going politics. All right.
No politics.
Okay.
Nothing.
A little bit of politics.
So we're gonna go back into the guillotine league. 17. So
Absurd.
I'm getting late, and it's Daniel Jones and Drake May. Took Daniel Jones because I had a feeling that Gerard Mayo was going to start Jacoby Brissett, who nobody took.
Nobody, because it wouldn't make sense.
Right. So, but you're going in this league, and you're just going, and there's just so many bad players.
So what happens with the guillotine league? What makes it a guillotine?
So, well,
for all those, at home,
I'm a
for them.
really bad fantasy football player.
I'm in
So
champion.
every week, you're just playing against the whole league. You start your
Okay.
best players. It's 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex, and a tight end. And you're playing the lowest score is out.
Okay.
And then that person's team becomes free agents. And then waiver wire, you get like $1,000 to spend.
Okay.
And then you're blind bidding against people.
That's pretty
for these
cool. All
players.
right, I think
It's cool until you get knocked out in week 2, like
Well,
I did last year.
I mean, if you want to be a champion, you survive.
But like, just
Simple.
look at these. Guillotine. How do you spell that? Guillotine. I'm better at math.
GUI maybe. Can't spell.
GUILL. Yeah, there you go. So, I had the number 4 pick. Tyreek Hill. How I got Tyreek Hill with the number 4 pick, I have no idea. Somebody took Breece Hall like the 2nd pick. My brother's friends, idiots. Then the 2nd pick, I took Mahomes because he was there, and for some reason, everyone takes wide receivers early and running backs, but the quarterbacks always score the most points. So my 3rd pick. So now this is a snake. So I went 4th,
and then you didn't go for an hour.
20 something picks until I went again.
That's absurd.
My 3rd pick, I took Kenneth Walker.
What did you do? Kenneth, don't call me Skywalker.
Well, it was 1 minute between picks, so it's
I was gonna say, because what the fuck did you
rapid
do
fire.
for like
You were
20
done
minutes
like an hour and
in
a half.
between?
Oh, 20 minutes. Well, yeah, it was 26 minutes. It would have been if people didn't pick fast.
I can't see you.
My 3rd pick was Kenneth Walker.
I took him on one of my leagues.
My 4th pick, Xavier Worthy.
I have him on my league.
He's going to be a stud.
He's the X-Man.
My 5th pick, Brian Robinson.
Do you know that?
I like guys who get shot.
Yeah, but what happens if if Eckler does anything? What about they're saying that Rashid Rice is going to get suspended?
Yes, that's the other reason I took Xavier
So
Worthy.
that's why I took him.
6th pick, David Njoku. You're running out of players.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
7th
6th pick, David.
Romeo Dobbs.
Don't call me Romeo Dobbs.
Then Alexander Madison.
Isn't he starting somewhere now?
The Raiders. Then Tutu Atwell.
Oh my god.
Khalif Raymond.
Oh my god.
Kate Otten.
Oh my god.
Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes.
Clyde
Edwards. He's still in the league?
And Van Jefferson, who's on the Steelers.
Van Jones?
This is how bad that you're getting down. So like I'm looking at rookies to see like who I could possibly take. So Guillotine League, pretty cool thing. Hopefully I don't get it out of week 2. But what I learned is there's a lot of bad players and there's a lot of older players who are just they're on teams that you have no idea they're on. They're retreads. I don't know.
So that's an interesting thing that I always come up with in fantasy, and I did it 2 leagues so far. Do you go with the older kind of retread,
Depends on what league you're in.
or so what makes it depend?
What?
Like not a keeper league, just a straight up regular league. Do you go with the older
How many
retread?
people are in it?
12. Or do you go with the rookie? Do you go with the worthies of the world?
Where do you go with them?
I'm just saying,
I
when
feel
you
like
start
the
getting
top,
down...
the top 3 or 4 rounds, you got to go with guys.
Oh, you're going to take Marvin Harrison.
I mean, who's throwing the ball? Kyler Murray?
I mean, I did.
Kyler
I took
Murray's-
him.
Kyler
I drafted
Murray's
him.
Terrible.
He was my first
But
receiver
then again,
pick.
this is why you're good at fantasy and I'm not.
I mean, I'm a champion from last year. I had 4 leagues. I won one and split one. So, yeah, I mean, I do a decent job with it.
So you're not like, I'm into integrity.
But you also... Integrity. Jet fan... Patriots, Tampa Bay, back to Jets. Integrity. Mets. Let's go. We can go to the videotape. So one of these days, we're going to go to the videotape because there's a bin.
We're not talking about
There's
the
a
Mets.
bin.
Hold on, I got enough.
That
I got
contains.
my next thing.
All right,
The
we'll
next
talk
thing.
about the
There's
bin
the
another
thing.
time.
There's the next thing I'm going to talk about is relegation and promotion.
Nobody cares about that.
So
we're not talking
no,
about
we
soccer.
Are, no, we are going to talk about
All right.
it.
Well,
We
then
are.
lick your chops.
So,
We're talking politics next, folks.
So, I'm a big soccer guy. I'm not going to.
I'm going to get a nice coffee.
I'm not going to bore you with soccer on the podcast.
Yeah.
But what soccer does
We want this to get 4 views. Remember.
is it stops teams from tanking. And if you look at this draft for the NFL for next year, there's a lot of good players going to be coming out. Where this year there were 0, right?
So you're gonna say that you make the argument that U.S. sports in general should adopt relegation as a strategy.
100%.
All sports.
The NFL is a little more difficult
Okay.
because you don't have like a minor leagues. But
So Major League Baseball
they should send 3 teams down to the minors every year. AAA.
and AAA
We'll send their best 3 teams up.
Now, in soccer, and I can't believe I'm asking questions and engaging in this, but I can edit this and cut this out. The lower level, they don't feed into the main club, right? But can't
No.
they purchase the people? Or they
They
can't?
can purchase people. So, like, basically, if you're in the Premier League, if you're in the Champions League, which is a league under the Premier League, right, and you get relegated, you lose $1 gazillion, basically. You have to
Okay.
sell all your players.
Okay.
Because the Premier League TV rights with Peacock and everyone else, it's $180 million a team or something like that. So that's where you're getting a lot of your money to spend. You're not going to sell out if you're in the lower division. People aren't going to buy your stuff. You probably lose your Adidas, might lose Adidas sponsorships. And
Just
you might
thought of
go
something.
Somebody else.
As a this is a league, because I don't know what it's called, owner. You're an owner of a soccer team right now.
I am.
Are you allowed to do this?
Why would I not?
I'm just Brady, Raiders, broadcast. I just don't know if you're allowed to do this because you're an owner of a soccer team right now.
No, I am.
Okay.
But I just want to go back into to just
Okay. Yeah,
understand.
just I
I
want to
just
make
don't
sure we're not
understand
breaking
why
any
this
rules.
Why this isn't a good idea. I think that college football, if you're in the SEC and you finish in the bottom three, you should drop out of the Power 5 conference. And then have to win Conference USA or something like that to get yourself back up. Like, why should Illinois be allowed to be in a Big Ten every year and stink? Why should Vandy be allowed to be in the SEC every year and stink?
Because they get enough money and enough draw from their student base, and they do.
Well,
I mean, look
You would
at
do
right
better.
now.
Well, this is Missouri. This
All
is the number
right.
11 team in the country.
Yeah, but Missouri.
can't sell out? Who can't sell out?
Their first couple years in the SEC, they were terrible.
Well, you have to build
Jeremy
yourself up.
Macklin,
You just have to
and-
stay out of the bottom three.
It's not a terrible idea. I think it's one of those
Would the
things.
Patriots be starting Jacoby Brissett right now?
No,
If
'Cause
they
they'd be trying to
had
win.
the chance of relegating.
they'd be trying to win.
Right.
But you're talking about something that would be blowing up the system completely, and there is too much
So
money.
Every other country plays soccer. That's the
Right.
major sport. It's the only sport that matters. It's the world's game. It's the beautiful game, they call it.
Every other country.
Every other country does relegation and promotion.
Okay. Every other country uses the metric system. We use the customary system, but we think that they're morons.
But we're the dumb country. We're the ones who poison our people with the stuff that we put on our food.
But you said that we weren't going to talk about politics.
We're not. I'm just telling you.
Schmoopies.
You're saying
Get
that
down.
this country. All right. So there should be relegation and promotion, whether you think so or not.
How about over/under on wins for Colorado? I think it's like 4.5.
How? They're in the Big 12. The Big 12 is brutal for the Rangers. All right, we know Big 12, right? Big 12.
Oops.
This week, Colorado plays North Dakota State.
Play tonight.
You're saying 4 wins. They're playing North
I think
Dakota
it's.
State.
I think their over/under is 4.5.
They're only 10.5 points.
Yeah, they're big.
All right, so they'll go 1-0. Week 2, Nebraska at Nebraska.
Loss.
1-1, 6.5 point underdogs. Colorado State, 7.5 point favorites.
Really?
Yeah, 2-1. Then they get Baylor,
Done.
UCF,
Done.
Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech. They're gonna win.
Do you think they win? You see 5 wins?
Yeah, I think so. All right, that was stupid anyway because nobody cares.
Okay.
Coach Prime is not a good coach. It was all smoke and mirrors.
0-3 against the spread last year when they were 3-point or better favorites. It's a stat for you. It's a stat.
North Dakota State 6-0 the last 6 times they were underdogs.
Another stat. So what does that tell you?
All
Coach
right,
Prime!
I'm gonna jump out of. All right, let's stay. Why can't we bet the Rutgers game tonight?
Makes no sense.
I mean, sports betting has been in the States long enough. The Rutgers players are not betting on the game.
Absolutely
If they
not.
are, they're
They're
going to
going
do it
the other
anyway. If they are, they're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it,
But if we go to Staten Island, you
then
can bet the
can
game.
bet the game. Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Just got to get over the bridge.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
The betting in general, the way that the states are running it, makes no sense.
So the slate for tonight, there is only one good game.
You got four ranked teams playing tonight, I believe.
You only have one good game.
And I think you only have one good game. Well, that's something I want to talk about.
Rutgers is 38.5.
Yeah, we're not.
NC State's 32.5.
Yeah, it's a blowout.
Wake's 33. UCF's 38.
But as you keep getting later and later into the night, there is something I think worth talking about.
There's North Carolina, Minnesota on Fox.
That's
You'll
not
get
it.
Gus for that one.
That's not what I want to talk about.
As we get later into the night, Utah, Southern Utah.
I want to talk about Utah, Southern Utah. Because I want to talk about the quarterback who will be starting.
Cam Rising's not starting.
Cam Rising is
First time in
starting.
12 years.
He is on. Do you know what year he is? I know the answer to this. I know the
Cam
answer.
Rising is
Just
a
guess.
senior from Ventura,
Just guess.
California.
Just guess how many years. 7.
7. How old?
7.
So he's gotta be
25. 7.
He's a man playing a kid sport.
Okay, so I like Cam Rising, actually. He doesn't play.
He's never even had a good year.
But I just like him. He runs just enough. He throws just enough.
He hasn't played since 2022.
He doesn't play. But with redshirting and the COVID year, I mean, we're still talking about someone who took a COVID year. So, how is this allowed to happen? Should it be allowed to happen? Should there be an age limit?
This is interesting.
What do you got?
Their backup, because I was just looking to see, because he's probably not going to make it through the year.
He probably started more games than Cam Rising in his career.
Sam Eward,
Son of Brock Eward?
possibly, played 2 years at Washington,
Okay.
and then went to Cal Poly
Okay.
before coming to Utah. And then the other guy is Luke Batari. Luke Batari is a senior who played 1 year at Utah last year, was 6 for 10 for 61 yards. So what did he do his first 4 years of college? Look at this dude.
I don't.
It's a ginger too.
Jesus Christ, got no soul.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that.
Oh wait, they got like 14 quarterbacks.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have 4. You have 14. You don't have one.
Yeah, right on my nuts. All right, then they got a sophomore who's never played, and then they got this Isaac Wilson guy, Draper, Utah.
I don't know. I just think that as someone that likes Cam Rising, like
why
Ty
would you
Willingham,
like Cam Rising?
because just the few times I've seen him play over the last 7 years, I feel like he's part of the family now. It's like 7 years. Like, you know him. You know he's hurt.
I don't care about Utah. All right.
Okay.
Last thing that came to Utah that's anywhere near me was Zach Wilson.
Okay. How'd that work?
No, interested. All right, so one game tonight. UNC, Minnesota, in Minnesota. Well, the problem with betting these games and looking at these games has to do with the fact that you have no idea who's on these teams.
No.
So
Couldn't name a single
Drake
person.
May, not Drake the singer, Drake May era.
A minor.
The starting quarterback is probably going to be Max Johnson. Now, what teams did Max Johnson play for?
At least 3.
LSU, 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 2021, was a stud. At A&M for the last 2 years,
Okay.
9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions last
So you
year.
go with the quarterback.
But then you go to Minnesota and you say, I've never heard of any of these guys. There's not even a picture of the guy that's probably going to start tonight. His name is Max Brosmer.
There's not even a picture of him?
Not even a picture. Max Brosmer is from New Hampshire, where
Hotbed.
in 2022, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Last year, 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. From New Hampshire, where Greg Siller played for. So I take North
UNC.
Carolina on the road, -2.
You have to. You don't have to.
Last topic. This is what we'll leave off with, and then we can pick it up next week. How the New York Yankees?
Oh, God.
How the New York Yankees 24 games over 500, and they stink.
They don't win. How are they 24 games over?
It's math, Joe. You win a game, you get a win. You lose a game, you get a loss.
But they don't win. So,
But they do win because they have a baseball player who I did not want to re-sign, who might be is probably the
Looks
best
like
baseball player
a bargain.
of this era.
the deal looks like a bargain at this point.
Besides A-Rod, Ken Griffey Jr., and probably Barry Bonds, I mean, he's the most polarizing and dominant player of an era since we've been alive.
He's ridiculous.
And I didn't want to re-sign him. And I still think that 9 years was going to be too long, but
But these 9-year, 10-year deals, everything's a 10-year deal. It's not for years 7 through 10. It's just that's the way they're deferring the contracts, basically. But
so the Yankees win the World Series this year. They don't re-sign Soto, and
they can't. I don't see how the Yankees. Listen, I guess they can. I don't see the Yankees re-signing.
So we could get more into this on the next show if there is a next show, because I can't believe you finally got me here to do this after all these years of asking me to do it. You finally got me here because clearly I am the linchpin of this operation. But I just really wanted to understand how this team is 24 games over 500 And they stink.
Did they lose again last night to the Nationals?
They did.
So they can't even beat the Nationals.
But the 24,
They're 24 over. So they won a lot
So
early.
like all you hear too is like you put on Sports Talk Radio in New York. It's how they stink, how they can't win, how they can't win. They're 24 games over 500. They're the best record in baseball, and we're talking about how like they can't win in the playoffs.
No pitching.
But who's good this year?
But that's the thing. I mean, anyone in the Central is not really good.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Who's out west? I mean, are the Mariners leading that division?
Probably.
I mean, I think your biggest competition is the Orioles. Red Sox stink this year.
Oh, Houston's back in first place, 71 and 62. It's
All right.
horrors.
All right. So you look at that as a...
They got to win the division, stay out of the wild card. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
They're 20 after the last two losses to the Nationals. They're 22 games over 500.
Oh, that's how that works. You lose two, it comes from that side, and then you drop down to 24.
Anymore.
So we're going to have a fact checker here for next time. But, again, unprepared. I was not prepared. He was prepared.
I didn't prepare.
I mean, it's
when you
a
have
sheet.
ADHD, you just...
You learn how to deal with it.
You put some things...
Yeah.
You write some things down and they pop in your head.
So I don't have ADD.
I carry this again. As always, I carry everything. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is our pilot episode of what we're calling today the Unprepared Pod. Might change. We'll see what happens. Might never do this ever again. Hopefully, this was enjoyable for the 3 people that watch this. Hey, if we get 4, because I'll watch it on all 4 of my channels.
You have 4 channels?
I have 4 channels. Different things. But if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Give us some comments. Tell us what you think. We talked about a lot of topics today, wide-ranging. Certain things we agree with, certain things we didn't agree with. I would like to talk Cowboys, but then we'll get like 25 views. It'll be crazy. So maybe next time we'll talk about the Dallas Cowboys. But let us know what you want us to cover. We'll give you our viewpoints.
How are they going to tell us what they want us to cover?
There's 4 people
You're going to
that...
leave comments?
Yeah, they leave comments, you moron. Don't you know how this works?
No, I'm just here because you needed somebody who was smart and...
So next time we'll show them how to use a smartphone, everybody. Have a great week, and maybe we'll come to you sooner rather than later. Go Blue.